Hi, it's the middle of July already, so I've got a few books to talk to you about. I started off the month listening to Colin Tobin's Brooklyn because I've got on Audible to listen to Long Island, the new one, and I thought, well, I need to read or listen to the first one, for the one that precedes it first, even though people say that you don't need to have read Brooklyn to read Long Island. I thought, well, yeah, I will do. And we follow Eilish, who's in her 20s, who wants more to life than she's getting in her little Irish town. She's studying accountancy, and she gets the chance to emigrate to Brooklyn. Father Flood, he organises everything for her, and she ends up in this boarding house with an Irish landlady. She gets a job in a department store, and she meets Tony, and this is her life in Brooklyn, and then tragedy strikes, and she ends up back in Ireland and has to make all sorts of decisions, and decisions have consequences. And it's a coming of age set in the 1950s, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting to know Eilish. I really did. Then I went on to a young adult book that comes out on the 1st of August, and it's Sisters of the Moon by Marie Louise Fitzpatrick. I'd read one of hers before, when it was on the Carnegie a couple of years ago. And this is about grief and friendship. Susie had lost her mum the year previously, and her and her dad are stuck in this grief. And she wishes on the moon, which is something she always used to do with her mother. And the next day, things start happening. And Rhiannon comes into her life. Rhiannon joins the school. And we've got friends, we've got secrets. Susie's life alters totally. And you've got a sort of element of moon magic as well. It's told in the first person. Susie's personality shines through. A good YA read. Yeah, it was good. I think I preferred her other one. I think the other one had a little more depth. I think it was called On Midnight Beach. But this one, yeah, you've got moon magic and friendship, and yeah, it's a nice YA read. Then I moved on to this one. One of my charity shop TBRs. I can't resist buying books from charity shops or secondhand bookshops, and this one, Anne Tyler's A Patchwork Planet, and it's full of everyday moments. It's a lovely book. You've got Barnaby Gatlin. He's first line of the book, I'm a man who can trust. Last line of the book, I'm a man who can trust. He's the black sheep of the Gatlin family. The Gatlins have got a foundation, a charitable foundation, and each Gatlin, going back to his great granddad, they've feel that they met an angel that moved them in the right direction. And Barnaby's searching for his angel, and he thinks he finds her on a station. He works for Rent-A-Back, which is an organisation that does anything and everything. The majority of their clients are elderly. If they want a sofa moving, they ring Rent-A-Back. If they want someone to go and mow the lawn, they ring Rent-A-Back. If they want someone to do the shopping, they ring Rent-A-Back. And you've got some of this. His clients are lovely. You really get to know his clients from this. And it's the story of Barnaby looking for his angel. And you meet some lovely people on the way. I really did enjoy that one. Then I moved on to another NetGalley ARC, and this comes out on the 15th of August, and it's called Mina's Matchbox by Yoko Ogawa, I think it is. And this is a very gentle Japanese translation, set in 1970s Japan. And again, it's like a coming of age. You've got Tomoko, who goes to stay with her aunt in their large house. Tomoko's lost her father. Her mother wants to go off to college and learn a profession so she can provide better. So Tomoko goes off to stay with her aunt. You've got her aunt, you've got her uncle, you've got grandmother Rosa, who's a gorgeous character. You've got Yoneda-san, who's the housekeeper, and Kobayashi-san, who's the gardener. And you've got Mina, who's her cousin, who's very frail, she's asthmatic. And you've got Bachiko, who's a pygmy hippo. And Mina rides him to school and back. And it's a coming of age because it covers a year. And as with all Japanese novels, you're told in seasons. You go in spring, summer, autumn, winter. And over the seasons, these girls, Mina and Tomoko, develop a friendship. And you see their obsessions, you see their crushes. And as for the matchboxes, I'll leave you to read that to find out what Mina's Matchbox means. Then I read another YA thriller. Again, comes out on the 15th of August. And it's called Silent Sister by Megan Devisa. And it will appeal to the YA audience. It didn't appeal so much to me. I'll be honest. It didn't. It just didn't. I could see where it was going quite early on. You've got the two sisters, Maddie and Grace, and they are on a senior sabbatical. They've gone away on one of these outward bound courses for a week with school. Grace is outgoing. She's lively. Maddie is very shy and introvert. On this sabbatical, Maddie goes missing. As it said on the thing, 2 girls go into the wood, or 1 comes back. And Grace is suspected of doing something to Maddie. She's got no memory. Grace cannot remember anything at all. And she tries to find out what happens in this. In this book, the whole book is her trying to find out what happened. A good YA thriller for a YA audience, I think. Then another one of these gorgeous Japanese translated books. The Lantern of Lost Memories by Sanako Hiraji comes out on the 22nd of August. And if you liked Before the Coffee Gets Cold, you'll love this one. And it builds on the idea of when you die, your memories flash before you. And we've got a Hirasaka, who's a gentle soul. He's a photographer. He waits in his photographic studio for the dead because his role is to ease them into the afterlife. And when they're in his studio, they've got one job, and that is to pick a photograph that represents every year of their life. So, a photograph for every year of their life. And he will put these on a magic lantern. And then the person will sit and watch their life and gently fade into the afterlife. Oh, gorgeous. He finds that some people know they're dead immediately when they arrive at his studio. Others are surprised. He has to tell them that they're dead. But you've got 3 interlocking stories. And, he's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the final one was this one. Oh, you can tell why I picked this one up, can't you? Found in a bookshop. And this one is by Stephanie Butland. And he follows on from Lost for Words, but you don't need to have read Lost for Words to read this. It's set in the pandemic, in lockdown, and Loveday is wondering how her bookshop, Lost for Words, is going to, how it will ever survive. She's got a co-worker, Kelly, and they come up with an idea when they receive a letter from George and Rosemary. George and Rosemary write to the bookshop and say, look, here's some money, here's a cheque, just send us some books to keep us going. And then they get the idea that they could have, their bookshop could be sort of like a prescription bookshop. People can email them, write to them, ring them, tell them what they're suffering from, anxiety, loneliness, sadness, and they will find a book to suit them. So you get lots of little vignettes, all sorts of people contacting the bookshop. You get sort of little threads running through it. And you get Madison, who's hired as a Saturday girl when the shop starts getting busy. And her relationship with Kelly is quite interesting. And you meet these people who contact the bookshop. And I enjoyed it. But there is a but. The author keeps popping in every now and again, telling us how wonderful books are and why we should be reading books, etc., etc. But, you know, we're readers, we know that anyway. We don't need to be told, do we? That was my only gripe with it. But some nice little vignettes in here. So those are the books that I've read for the first half of the month. My book of the month at the moment, in first place at the moment, is Lantern of Lost Memories, because I thought that was just so gorgeous, and I love the idea of this lantern just sitting there watching your life. So that's it. We're in the middle of July. We've still got grey skies here in the UK, so I'm hoping that we will see summer before winter arrives. So I'll leave you now. Happy reading. Take care.